my stupid computer is not working, so I'm using a laptop. I don't know, the audio's not working. Thanks a lot.
What did Dimitri do it?
Thanks a lot, Comcast.
All right, yay, Comcast, my favorite ISP, only because I don't have a choice.
Is that Will on the phone? What's going on?
Yeah.
So, because of me needing to like leave in 20 minutes, I decided to do it from the phone rather than try to do part of it from my laptop and then part of it from the phone, or like do part from the laptop and drop off halfway. So I'm mobile. So this week I'm gonna do it from the phone, but next time I'll be back on my laptop.
Okay, yeah.
Next time.
It sounds like everybody has technical difficulties today. Actually, just me.
A little bit.
We're recording now.
I know. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Yes.
Sorry for the.
All right. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Video game show live.
That's right.
Video game show live. We do it live.
What's on the agenda today? We got holiday
awards.
Yeah, video game awards. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about being the before we get into the video game awards. I kind of wanted to talk about what is your guys' recommendation to all those millions of viewers that we have. You guys know we have millions.
Oh, no.
Recommendations for the best holiday games, I guess for a gift.
Holiday games.
Yeah, for a gift.
Are we limiting them to 2020 games, or is it a free for all?
No, we are not.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not limiting them. No limitations on this show.
No limitations. Anything for a holiday gift.
Yeah.
I would say like one of those, I forget the company that makes them, but the super cool like SNES controllers that they make that are USB compatible that you can use for like your computer or the Switch, or maybe in theory plug it into a PS4 or 5. I think those are great. It's multi-purpose. And the SNES controller was pretty solid. So
I believe you're talking about the 8-bit dough, right?
I am.
I think that's what it's called, 8-bit dough. For those of you that are not familiar.
8-bit dough.
They're really good. They're really good controllers. Solid.
I would recommend the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package. Some of the retailers right now are selling it for like $20, and it's got 10 games on it. You can't beat the amount of content you get for that low price.
How much is it?
The only question I have for you, if it gives you all the Kingdom Hearts, does it give you like one of those like Pepe Silva-like boards to explain what is exactly happening in this game?
Are you kidding me? You could play those games. Those could be the only games you've ever played. You still wouldn't know what's going on. I just finished the Theatrhythm game over the weekend, and that game, it just adds another layer of like, Nomura doesn't know what he's doing. Like, there's nothing going on here. Like, there's nothing to see.
I just finished an Untitled Goose Game, which took
Ooh.
me 2 hours, which was amazing. And I got to play with my husband as a female and male goose.
Nice.
So they have 2-player now?
Yeah, there are 2 geese, and 2 geese can play. That's awesome. And wreak havoc on the neighborhood. That was fun. Although the game is $20 on PS4, so I'd find it cheaper on a computer somewhere.
Well worth the
It is
$20.
a heftier price tag than I imagined.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like video games for the holidays, I think I would probably go with one of the Mario omnibus. Mario 64, my favorite, but like, you know, the Mario Kart 8 is a good thing. If you're going for something though that is like a platform or a handheld, honestly, I'd get the Switch Lite. I would recommend the Switch Lite.
Nice.
You don't have to worry about the drift as much. You don't get the benefit of like hosting it onto the screen or taking. Gus, I see, is ahead of me.
Out of the game.
Did he pull it out already? Did he pull out All Stars?
Who knows?
No, he has the light, the Switch Lite.
Oh, the Switch Lite. Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, just in terms of machine, I'm still routinely impressed by what the Switch does. I booted up Breath of the Wild the other day and was just, again, blown away. Just like my computer screen.
Sarah, there's a little girl right behind you. Who is that?
Gus, she died 40 years ago.
Yeah.
It was Jeff.
Speaking of, if you know someone that has Steam, you should get them Phasmophobia. As I say, like every video game show, it is very fun. It is very spooky.
Did you beat it?
Maybe they'll like expand it to other systems, but it's super fun.
You could also just get them
spooky.
Hades.
You could get them. So that's good. We're now like 4 minutes into our first Hades mention. I thought it was going to be shorter, but
Can never be that long.
I was just looking at the digital copy of Hades, which is like $24.
It's worth every penny. That game is so good.
I'm really considering it.
Absolutely.
I just
Honestly,
Connor, what were you gonna say?
Underpriced.
Underpriced?
Honestly, yeah.
Indie Game of the Year.
I would say just Game of the Year flat out. Indie Game of the Year is too little credit.
I too would say Game of the Year, but we have to deal with what we always have to deal with. The Last of Us.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like for the Game Awards, it did get nominated for Game of the Year, and it got nominated for Game of the Year, as well as, let me look here. Let's see. I got all of the nominations in front of me. I think it got Indie Game as well. Yeah, Best Indie and Game of the Year, along with a bunch of other awards.
Like Best Sound, Best Action. It got a lot of things, which it entirely deserves. Also had a Best Voice Acting for Hades himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Action adventure and voice acting.
Does anyone know who done the voice?
Darren Korb.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. Darren Korb.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, unfortunately, so when I did my notes here for the Game Awards, one of the things I said about one of the issues with this, The Last of Us Part 2, it is video game Oscar bait. Like it exists to win these awards. That is its purpose in this life. And I feel bad because like I would probably, of all the games nominated, take every single game above it. Every single one.
And it's hard to say that too, because like I really appreciate those people who worked on it. Like it is gorgeous. It's a beautifully crafted game. I still have nightmares playing it, not because of the zombies, but because it's just so long and so violent and so much.
Yeah. The one I feel bad for, though, the most in here, though, is Animal Crossing. Because I think were the Game Awards in June, July,
that thing would have.
Yeah.
I think it cleans these up. Like,
yeah. It got us through all the first 6-7 months.
Yeah. Well, I was playing Merge Magic forever, and I don't know why. That got me through, because it's addictive as hell.
But yeah, Animal Crossing was really the thing that showcased I'm gonna say the Switch's online capabilities and friend connecting more than anything else I can imagine.
That's true.
It is also
I mean,
Facebook. So.
Sarah, how many times are we like at each other's islands just
Oh
goofing
my
around?
god, yeah.
I know, right?
Like it's not like we didn't play other online games. Like we played Mario Kart.
But it's like
we
it's like a
played Pokemon.
daily thing, though, right? And then you see your friends playing it, and you're like, "Well, I'm gonna stop on by and just see what's shaking." I'd be like, "Oh, did you move
Yeah.
that thing?" I don't even go to your house in real life and ask if you moved a piece of furniture.
Right? Or like your Halloween decorations. I don't ask your Halloween decorations, but I went to yours and I was like, oh my god, is this a new skeleton in your graveyard? Is this a new graveyard?
I'll never tell.
Analyze.
So
But yeah,
what do
I think
we
it would have.
got?
How many mentions did it even? How many nominations did Animal Crossing even get? All told.
So Animal Crossing got Game of the Year. I think it got let's see, we got Best Family Game. It got Best Multiplayer.
Ooh.
Well, what were the other options even?
So for multiplayer, I think is going to be rough. It's competing against Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys, and Valorant.
Oh man, that's a tough lineup.
That is.
Yeah.
I feel like Among Us though is one of those games where, like, if you have a solid group of 10 friends to play with, that game's amazing. But if you're playing with strangers, it's one of the worst experiences of your life.
Or you can get 10 friends and it can also be a bad experience.
That's true too. It could be. It's like Monopoly, but for this generation.
It's like you start with 10 friends, you end with like 3.
That's a strong
and then,
friend group right there.
So the weird thing is like the family one is where I think it has the most solid case, because everything else there, you've got Crash Bandicoot 4 is about time, Fall Guys, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, Minecraft Dungeons, and Paper Mario.
Oh.
That's incredible.
I think if Animal Crossing is going to win something, it's going to be there.
Frankly,
yeah.
I'm just sad that Doom Eternal and Hades are put against each other at like every single category they're in. Aside from, indie, it's Doom Eternal, Hades, Doom Eternal, Hades. Best score, both of them. Best action, both of them. Game of the Year, both of them.
I don't like Doom Eternal is a weird one for me because I don't like. I can't speak on it. Like I remember the newest iteration of Doom when it came out. Like people were just really excited that they managed to recapture that magic after so many like failed attempts. I'm looking at you, Doom 3, and like Doom Eternal like didn't see like it seemed like it was fine. Like it seemed like it was okay, but it didn't. Like I didn't get the same amount of buzz around it that the first game provided.
I think that was just partially though because no one really expected 2016 to be as good as it was. But then it like with Eternal, it took, like Doom 2016 and built upon it. So like everyone already expected, oh, this game is going to be great. It's not like it entirely revived the franchise. I feel like that's part of why you didn't see as much buzz.
Are we saying that this year's Doom did revive the franchise?
Doom 2016 absolutely revived the franchise, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like I don't going into that when they said, "Oh, we're gonna re-release Doom," I'm like, okay, go ahead. It's probably some like zombie of IP. Like you'll do the bare minimum, as has been done with so many franchises before, and we'll be done. And it wasn't. And
well, like this year was. I was gonna say, like, this year though is like the year of kind of like really good remakes of old stuff. We got Resident Evil 3, which was really good. I mean, that was again taking like a remake and then doing it even better. We got Final Fantasy 7 remake. I thought Doom Eternal. I thought that was a great time too. I mean, all of them were
Final Fantasy 7 feelings.
Oh, I did not. I did not think it was possible for me. There was another one. I thought they were just going to like send out a bare minimum. We've been waiting on this game for who knows how long. And it like it was I was almost as compelled with this first portion of the game as I remember being with Final Fantasy VII when it came out back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that they did it in a way that kind of acknowledged what came before. I mean, I know I'm setting myself up for heartbreak because it seems like this is going to be a story, a Kingdom Hearts-esque level complications in story for this game. But as long as they keep it fun, I'm there.
Agreed. I really thought that was I was surprised that one wasn't more of like a contender at the end of the year here because I felt like it really delivered on the hype that had been building up behind it.
Well, it got a couple noms. It got what? Game direction, narrative, art direction, game of the year. What else?
Did it get game of the year?
I mean, yeah, it's a game of the year nominee.
And that's the thing. I would have taken that over The Last of Us 2, like any day of the week.
Oh yeah, as with most of these games. There's not a game on this list I wouldn't like. Hades for sure. Ghost of Tsushima, which I started to say as I was in my peak of Assassin's Creed fandom, that you would have games that would be my Assassin's Creed game of the year, and sometimes it wouldn't be an Assassin's Creed, like Dishonored or something like that. And from what I understand, Ghost of Tsushima is 2020's best Assassin's Creed game, not Assassin's Creed.
It is really good.
Great things about that.
I was about to mention that, yeah. I haven't played that game, but I heard a lot of good stuff from it.
You know,
there's a talking squirrel in it.
Stop.
That's who it's fun. I like it. It's buggy as hell, but I'm having a good time with it.
I feel like I just need to get into this current iteration of Assassin's Creed game and kind of let go of the Assassin's Creed games as I remember them, and then I'll be fine with it. You know, I just like once I can just accept that they've decided to make like an RPG series out of Assassin's Creed, then I'll be all right. You know.
Well, nothing will disrespect the Assassin's Creed franchise as much as the Assassin's Creed movie.
How dare you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Gyllenhaal is a gift.
That's Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You're
like,
right.
you need Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender, yeah.
It's Fassbender. Oh man, to be fair though, I knew that movie was hot trash from the moment they announced it. Like, I had no doubts.
Speaking of video games movies, did you guys see about the Monster Hunter movie that it got banned in China?
Yeah.
No.
Man, I did hear about that.
Why? It was a mildly insensitive joke about somebody who had.
Tell the joke.
I'm not going to say the joke, but it was mildly insensitive towards people of Chinese descent. So they pulled the whole film from the theaters before it could make any money.
Yep, that is not something much. Yeah, I did hear, and that's a huge audience, and we've seen in other, like in various sports divisions like basketball and football, that messing around with China and getting on the wrong side of them does not bode well for you.
No.
See, what else do I have? They got a couple of other things here. So I gotta ask, like, how do people feel about the Game Awards in general? Like,
So normally I can't say I pay attention to them, but normally I am a little bit more knowledgeable and opinionated about what's going on. This year I had to go look up what games were actually released. Not just because, you know, January through March seems like its own year, but also because March is that second year and so forth and so on. But I feel like not terrible much came out, and not just because COVID screwed with everybody's production plans and released a ability to even print discs. Okay.
I think I don't. I don't. I'm not the type of person to be like, you know what, I can't wait for the video game awards. You know what I mean? I think it's just something that it's like, okay, cool. Why not? But when you got things like best esports athlete, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that because isn't an athlete, athletes I think a little bit different. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I never watched them in vitro. I do always come back to them though as like, oh, this is kind of a good list of games that maybe I didn't take a first look at, but maybe I'll catch them on the flip side. Like that's
Right.
actually why I picked up Doom Eternal because I was like, I really like the 2016 Doom. Wasn't sure if I was going to check it out, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Now, did anybody? Anybody get it for the Switch? Doom Eternal?
No, I'm not doing that to my poor Switch.
I'm interested, man. I'm interested. I don't know if I'm going to get it right away, but I'm definitely interested to see how it runs on it.
To get a game for the Switch, I first need to get the Switch. I wonder how much that would be.
Well, they could. How bad are they to find right now? Like I know they go through fits where it's a little more difficult to find them.
Right.
I'd say it's pretty hard. It's a hot holiday item right now too again. So
yeah, I'm experiencing controller drift, and I'm having a hard time even finding little sad.
The Joy-Cons.
Thank you.
You can send them in though, can't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I guess then you wouldn't. Oh, okay.
Was there's a gremlin behind you? I don't want to alarm you.
Yeah.
Sarah, that girl's behind you, and she's still
something going on here.
What would you recommend for a holiday gift? With all of your deals breaking.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay. I got Comcast. It cuts in and out. You know what I mean? Thanks again, Comcast.
Friend of the show, Comcast.
Yeah. We should just do a show on Comcast. I could probably do 2 hours on it. So this year,
I think we have to rate that one.
Yeah.
What's it?
This year, I'm going to say the best deals that I found, I guess, for like a holiday gift. I'm going to go ahead and say Ghost of Tsushima. Definitely pick that up because I think you can get it for $40 if you're me. No, I think it was $40 at I believe GameStop, Amazon. So that's a great price for it. I didn't pay Valhalla, but Buzz, you were talking about there's some kind of a squirrel in it. I'm very intrigued with that.
Yes, there's like a squirrel that thinks it's a god of the Norse, like Asvir, and he talks to you about. I mean, it's worth the admission price alone.
Awesome.
And then I'll probably say, I don't know if you guys played Neo 2. If you haven't picked that up, that's $10. $9.99. Sorry, $9.99, and that's $10 everywhere, even Amazon.
That's $10.
Also, they dropped the price of the new Yakuza game from $60 all the way down to $35. It hasn't been out for a month yet, even.
Really?
Nice.
Wow.
Is that for PS?
That is a game I definitely.
I don't know why they cut the price in half so recently, but I strongly recommend it. I put about 30 hours into it, and I'm loving every minute of it.
All right.
Yeah. Do you have it for the Xbox Series X?
I have it from the Xbox Series X and the PS5, and I would recommend just going with the PS. Well, I really love that series. I've played all the games, but there's no difference between the new generation versions formats and the old one. There's no functional difference. So just get it for the PS4 or the Xbox or whatever base console you have, because you don't need the upgrade. It doesn't do anything.
Just get it.
It's really great though.
Yeah, I want to like eventually go back and play through that series. I think they've re-released most of them to the PS4 at this point, because I know you can get 0 through 3 for the PS4. I think
all of them are
I
available
saw
on
them.
the PS4 now. So 0 was a new game built with the version 6 engine. So 1 and 2 also got Kiwami versions, which just means re-release. And then 6 was on the PS4. And 3, 4, and 5, you can get all for the price of one game in a package now for PS4.
Oh man!
See,
How much of a?
Go ahead.
No.
Oh no, go ahead. What were we gonna?
No, truly.
Oh, I was going to ask how much of a difference, because I know you said they built 0 on the 6 engine, between like what they did for the 6 engine and 3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5 definitely don't feel as optimized, I would say. Like when you play 0, 1, 2, and 6, you kind of get this, like, it feels very much like a current gen game. There's a lot of like really nice water and reflection physics going on. Load times are negligible. You have this whole map to explore in real time. So it really works. 3, 4, and 5 are a little bit more chopped up, and the plot of those games is also a little bit different too, because they're the only games where you're not really just playing as the main character. So you're doing a lot of like kind of these like different, like almost like a heist story where you've got multiple character viewpoints coming in, and so the maps also feel a lot smaller too, because like kind of the appeal of Yakuza is like you're in Kamurocho, like this big city, and you get to like have a giant sandbox to play in. So it's always interesting that 3, 4, and 5 feel very much like a deviation from the series, which I think is why they never got the remaster. Because the Yakuza series, I think, is like one of Sega's best-selling series, and even during like their financial crisis right now at Sega, like 7's still selling like hotcakes.
All I know about the Yakuza series are these screenshots sent by persons unnamed.
Yakuza can get a little bit risque sometimes because they have these gravure. Every game has a gravure idol moment where you get live action Japanese women doing something scantily clad but not completely nude, and it always takes you by surprise when it shows up.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bizarre series. You have to contend with it. It's like art. You just take this whole weird mishmash, and by the end of it, you either come out better or worse as a person.
You've played them all, right? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can use math and work backwards. See if it's for you.
Telling. Speaking.
So I saw one category here that I thought would be interesting to talk about: the most anticipated game. So they had Elden Ring, which I think is the next iteration of like the Soulsborne series, the God of War sequel, Halo Infinite, which we now know is not coming out any earlier than late next year, Horizon Forbidden West, Resident Evil Village, and the Breath of the Wild sequel.
No sequels.
Yeah. Okay. But one, my vote's for Breath of the Wild too, even though Horizon Westward Expansion is my game.
Yeah.
But everybody's gonna love it, I think, regardless. But the real question is, will Zelda be a playable character?
Hold on, Sarah. When you say it's your game, did you make it?
And make it?
Did you make it? Okay.
Yes, I did. In fact, you know that house or the subreddit that we talk about all the time with Michelle?
Yes.
That's me. I posted on there. You can come see my lake view soon. I'll invite y'all over once COVID ends.
My anticipated game is going to be Left 4 Dead 3. Is that ever going to happen?
Yes. Probably not.
No.
But we'll look forward to it every year anyway.
I'm holding hope for Shin Megami Tensei 5 next year.
Yes.
I think they've announced. Haven't they given a time frame for that one?
Next year, they said probably spring or summer of next year. They're finally going to release 5. It was supposed to be a launch title for the Switch, like a year one title. Never happened. And we're getting a remake of Nocturne too, so that'll air an HD upgrade.
Oh,
I cannot wait.
I wish you could see me jamming in the car right now for that remake of Nocturne. Oh,
that game just hits just right. That game is so good.
Halo Infinite's
What was
my
your
game
most
next year.
anticipated? Oh, Halo Infinite.
Halo, holding out hope for WWE 2K22. I'm holding out hope.
so my issue with the WWE 2K games, I am a child of the Aki engine. I am a child of WrestleMania 2000. I am a child of WCW NWO Revenge World Tour. That is what a wrestler. I don't care about how it looks. That is how it should play. And no, like all I want, like AEW is supposed to be releasing the game next year, and it looks like it's going to be heavily Aki inspired, and that's all I need. That's cool. I don't care if I have to play with 57-year-old Chris Jericho taking on 65-year-old Sting and like the Young Bucks super kicking everyone. Doesn't even matter to me. You know why? Because it'll be the Aki engine.
Yeah,
I just want them to bring back some golden age wrestlers. Like I want Muscle Man Randy Savage.
Ah.
Or like like a Hulk Hogan like moment, even if he's just like a call-in from like the side of the ring. Like that would get me back in the game.
Hogan's gotta need some money, right? They should definitely put that in there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, what's he busy doing?
Right.
So my favorite Hulk Hogan money story is that so in the 80s he tried to do like Pasta Mania, which was like pasta making system. It crashed and it burned. Like it didn't get him anything. So he was very hesitant for putting his name on things. Like he was like, nah, I don't feel like it. So this company came to him in the early to mid 90s, like, hey, we got this idea for this cooking device. He's like, nah, guys, nah, I already been there. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, are you sure? I mean, this is really cool. Like, it's like a grill inside your house. He's like, nah, it's okay. Nah, don't even need that call. All right, we'll go to, hey, George Foreman. I'm just wondering, how do you feel about this grill? And he's like, sign me up.
It's a lean, mean grilling machine. Huh?
Listen, the more things that man could name George Foreman.
Yeah, so he could have all the Georges everywhere. I think George Foreman really living his dream with that.
I love the George Foreman.
Man.
I love it. We
I'd be down with that. Use it as like a panini press for the most part.
Isn't that track?
Yeah. Hogan, I was a little Hulkamaniac, and I loved him as a kid. Like I remember crying when he went away for like 6 months because Earthquake took him out of the Brother Love show. But I just wish Hogan felt about me the way I feel about him. Like, I
want us to know how he's been doing.
Hold on. Did you say that you were a Hulkamaniac?
I was a Hulkamaniac. I said my prayers, ate my vitamins, believed in the power of Hulkamania. When it came time, when the Mega Powers collided, I stood with Hogan. WrestleMania 6, Hogan Warrior, I was like pulling for Hogan. I could not believe he lost the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Hulkamania right there, man.
Man alive.
Yeah.
Remember that.
That fandom right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Alon, what are you looking forward to?
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually looking at Cyberpunk 2077 right now on my Steam library, debating about buying it right now.
I highly recommend it. It's very good. At least the first 7 hours have been great.
Okay. I've been also having that other problem where, like, should I buy it for my PC or should I buy it for my future PS5?
If you get the PS4 version, it upgrades to the PS5 version, if that helps.
Okay, that does help a little bit.
I ordered mine's coming in tomorrow, actually. Very excited.
So some of the reviews I've read, being a little buggy, I'm almost like, even with interest in the game, it'd just be worth waiting a little bit. Like, let them.
I haven't encountered any of the bugs. Okay, so where I am in the game, without spoilers, like the first almost like 8 to 10 hours is like a tutorial area. So you're not even in the main like area of the map yet that kind of opens up and becomes the full like world, so to speak. So you kind of have this whole like setup, and that kind of also has like the main plot where you get to like meet Keanu Reeves and stuff. And like this game is like meet Keanu Reeves, the game, but because he's actually but this is definitely like the kind of like the first like 8 hours or so, or just kind of this tutorial. And I haven't encountered any bugs yet. I have the day 0 patch, but not the day 1 patch, because that doesn't launch till midnight. So I'm gonna hope maybe that'll help also kind of offset the stuff that happens as the game gets a little bit more complex and the areas get a little bit bigger as they load in. But I've been in like a much smaller sandbox, so I think everything's very tight, at least for where I am right now, because it has been somewhat more linear too.
Good.
It's very good. It's also, there's just stuff that always takes me by surprise with this game. Like, I was not expecting to see like my characters completely naked during the character creator, and it really shocked me because I know they've been talking about like the level of customization, but you basically get like this truly anatomically correct model, and then you can swap things out south of the border as well, like all kinds of things.
Nice.
And I'm not sure how that's going to play into the actual game either. Like, what would that have to do with the tea in China?
I wish it could, like, all of those things could have been provided from a company that wouldn't make me feel as bad about getting a game from them. Like, and just the kind of between some of the advertising stuff they did beforehand and the crunch involved, it's just like I know, like, from a technical standpoint, this game's probably going to be amazing, probably. And once you kind of iron out what little bugs are left in there, which are probably there because they tried to crunch so hard to get it out now, it's probably going to be great. But I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's hard to just, like, I've been reading things about the making of Hades, to bring it back to Hades, and how they like kind of respected their workers' time, and they did things to make it a comfortable working environment. So on top of making an amazing game, you can go, this was ethically produced.
I think there's a level of that here too, where the problem is they kind of hyped themselves up too much. They had to deliver. I mean, the way the internet's been reacting to this game before it's even come out has felt very like over the top. And you're right, the crunch is kind of inexcusable. They could have delayed the game for another 6 months and nobody would have lost their life over not getting their toy. But it's been interesting too. And there's other stuff they haven't handled well in the game. Like, for example, you can make a trans character in this game, and it's very easy to do so. Like, there's a setting for it that lets you be non-binary as your preferred gender. But your gender in the game is still tied to your voice choice. So it's either a male or a female voice, and you still have to use he or she pronouns. There is no non-binary pronoun set. So like, it's a very weird kind of like collusion there of like, you give me these options to not make a gender specific character. That's very cool. And I can mix and match all the body parts I want to create a character that is the character I want. But I still have to use he or she pronouns, and I still have to use these 2 voice sets only.
I was actually reading, there's someone commenting online that technically Call of Duty Cold War does more to represent like that sort of like non-binary choice, to the point where you can have like your character be non-binary, and President Ronald Reagan will use the proper pronouns.
Right. If Ronald Wilson Reagan can use they, them, you'd think they could have worked together.
It's so
right.
You know, it's a better world.
It's such a small gripe, but it is a weird one too, and it's just one of those things where you have to be aware that it's tied to your voice choice, and they don't tell you that, and that's how you know when you get in there. You're like, okay, got it. The voice actor I pick determines how the game refers to your character.
Now, can you switch voices in the game? Like, can you decide?
No, character creation is pretty much locked in, at least where I am. There is supposedly like a chop shop that I haven't found yet that lets you like redo hair or offers more like customizations once you get into the game beyond what's in the base packs. Maybe you can, but I think that it's just the 2 voice packs because it is your main character is extremely voiced a lot. Like there's a lot of dialogue coming out of them. So they hired just 2 voice actors to do recordings because there is so much like the dialogue's really well done. That like Bethesda style, like you lock on like to the person's face and just like stare at them for a full 10 seconds. Instead, your character is always doing something. So like early on, you go to a noodle bar and you're eating like noodles out of a bowl, and you're looking down at the bowl, they're looking at their bowl, and it's kind of like this very natural conversation back and forth. And you notice this with almost all the NPCs. It's never like the camera snaps to them and you're like staring to a glassy dead eye of an animatronic. It's more like you're actually kind of having like a fluid conversation.
As a quick aside,
yes,
I would say I'm glad that like at least the voice acting is used well and it's done in a good way, because I feel like at this point we have too many games, and I felt this for a long time. There are too many games that have voice acting for the sake of having voice acting. And I think that's one of the things that leads to these kind of ballooning budgets in games. And just go ahead and just give me some text. It's all right. I'm good. I can read, I can read text on the screen. Please just make it large enough for me to read.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's well done in this one. I'll give them that. I was surprised at the level, like the very high quality of acting, especially from like even bit players. I was like, oh, okay, like you could tell that there was like some kind of coaching and directing going on there. Somebody was paying attention with the whole script in mind. So all of it feels very like coherent. The world building is the impressive part, because like even when you're walking by people on the street, or like there's this diner you go into very early and you hear people talking, it all feels very like dynamic and fluid. It's just really, it's a nice audio visual experience. Like I'd say the world creation is actually probably the most interesting part of this game, is just like walking around and being like, oh, look at that, or like, it just feels like the touristy feeling is right there. I don't know if it's just because I'm fresh in the game, but it's just still very nice.
Can you play as Keanu Reeves? I don't know if that's going to ruin anything you like, but I haven't played can you play as Keanu Reeves?
No. So without like spoiling it, Keanu Reeves's character is kind of like your companion in the game. So he talks to you a lot, and he kind of drives the main like plot quest line forward, is his story. So he's called Johnny Silverhand in the game because one of his hands is prosthetic, and like it's like his nickname. And he's like this really badass guy that you never got to meet, and then now you finally met this guy, and he's got all this history and stuff. So you're kind of following his storyline, but there is tons of content around it where you can kind of do your own thing, which has been fun. Like I've been definitely just been like, yeah, I'll get back to the main quest. I want to go over here and see what's going on with this like AI vending machine that's like trying to hack a bank. Like, what's going on there? Like, tell me more.
It's kind of nice though. I like a game that the time develop its size and develop just the size world, just in general.
Yeah, it's a big map from what I can tell from when I look at like the actual map icon, because I'm obviously not in it. You definitely need a vehicle to get around, which is kind of cool. The cars are very clunky, but the motorcycles are actually really great. So I don't know, like there's kind of this like misstep with like the actual 4-wheel vehicles, but you got on like this like Akira Kaneda style like motorcycle, and you're just like flying, and it just feels great.
Well, where are you at now? What's going on over there?
I'm in my condo. There's a lot going on all at once. That's normally not going on.
Yeah, I heard a bunch of. I don't know what it was.
That was a trash can full of random goods that was rolling out of the building.
Okay, all right.
Story of my life.
Yeah. So all right. Oh man, that was the other thing I had here about this. So, are there any sort of previews? Because I would say the biggest thing for the Game Awards. I mean, I'm glad that people are getting awards and everything, but are there previews for upcoming games that they tend to get? Because they say they have about a dozen trailers for things. Are there any sort of trailers that people are hoping for? I mean, I kind of heard Left 4 Dead 3, but I mean, I should say trailers that will possibly happen.
I got one. Metroid.
Out on the list.
Metroid.
That I'd be happy with the Metroid Prime re-release at this point. Like, I don't even want to set my sights that high. Just, I'll take the bare minimum.
Yeah, me too. Me as well.
You know what I saw on Instagram?
I'd like to.
What did you see?
They say about rest in peace.
Oh,
so maybe DS4's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think Dragon Age is coming out. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a nice gotcha game, free on Android and iOS. It's going to be awesome. It is totally going to be awesome.
Well, the truth, it really does pain me. Thanks for holding no bar.
I think it's trailers. Maybe this is me being way too optimistic, just since you just said it. That now it's not going to go late here. Halo. It's not going to happen, but
Keep the dream alive. Hope keeps me warm.
I'd love to see another Final Fantasy 16 trailer, like one that shows like more gameplay and like a little bit like, because supposedly it's actually a lot closer in its development cycle to coming out in like the next year, potentially like by the end of the year. And so I'd like to actually see like more like, yeah, what are we getting out of this? Because like they kind of did like a story trailer, but there was really no gameplay in it. So I'd like to kind of see more like, is it going to be like 15? Are we going to go back and do more of like a turn-based thing?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Gerald? What?
Yeah, I hope so. Like, mostly because I want the next part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I don't think I'm getting that before this game gets released. So I need this game to come out, like, yesterday.
Yeah, I'm always shocked you haven't heard anything about part 2 of that, like, remake. Because you think it would kind of follow hot on the heels of it, right? Like, all right, you've got the engine, you've got the staff, you've done it once. Like, let's go. What's next?
But I don't even know, like, for as well as that game did, as well as it was received, the amount of resources they had to pour into it, I don't even know if they broke even, right? Like, I sincerely don't know.
I don't know. It's one of those things, too, where it's like FF is very popular here, but then, like, Dragon Quest blows it out of the water in Japan every year anyway, so it's kind of like, I don't know if Square Enix, though, because they own both the franchises now, if it's like, well, we don't want to put too much in there. Plus, you know, Tetsuya Nomura is working on the new Kingdom Hearts game, which is supposedly also in development, so he's got his hand in a lot of different pots right now, like trying to keep all the balls in the air.
And I know that Square did not have a good financial year, mostly thanks to Avengers, and that game just like totally being forgotten the week after it came out.
Yeah.
They talk about being glitchy.
The live service thing does not work. 99% of the time, and they really need to stop promising content later for a game you buy yesterday.
I'm really enjoying it. Actually.
It's good. Like I'm glad that somebody is actually enjoying it, because I know a lot of game developers who I follow on social media were very excited about it.
It did just feel greedy up front, though. Like, one of the skins that you could get, you had to have a new plan with Verizon Wireless, and then you get the Verizon Wireless skins only. And like, there's just so much of this like commodity marketing there. It's like, I'm like, you're not Fortnite. You're not going to get kids to shell out more money. You're not going up against that big dog. Come on.
Here's the thing, like, but put it this way. If I told you that the competitor to Fortnite was going to be leveraging probably the biggest brand of the last 10 years, like, they should have a shot, right? Like, they should have a shot. I'm not saying they'd win, but I'd say, all right, this may be a but it wasn't even a competition. It was.
Well, you
like, it was dead on arrival.
Well, you also have Marvel double dipping, though, because the last Fortnite campaign had like the Galacticus like plot line there. So you got kids already spending money there, and now they got the Mandalorian this season.
Oh my God,
so kids are like going insane. I keep
saying
Kratos. And Kratos. But that's just adding more money to the pile. Like, it's like Fortnite cannot be stopped. I've only played it once. I did not love it, but I respect the game of like making money like that.
Hand over fist.
Well, the thing that well, it depends. If like, I would say Fortnite, the game can't be stopped unless something happens to Epic, which may happen to Epic in this like thing they're involved in with Apple, which it does not seem like it's going well for them at all.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
You have to love the marketing ploy, right? Of like, oh, Apple told us no, but we somehow had a whole anti-Apple marketing campaign ready to launch that day, like with a whole 1984 reference to the commercial. Like, I mean, it was like a chef kiss moi of like marketing, legal, and like insanity all coming together to make more money.
Totally believable.
Oh my God, you can't write this stuff. It was amazing.
Man alive.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a good year, guys. Good year.
Yeah. So I'm thinking for like next time. Well, I think for next time, we should maybe talk about what go deep dive into stuff we're looking forward to or hopeful for in 2021. 2021 when we turn it around.
When we're not playing video games in our house.
No,
that's hard to turn it around. Oh man, that'd be great. In the bomb shelter, probably have good lighting in there, like still crappy Comcast service.
If you're playing a dark video game.
That's right.
Well, yeah. You'll never escape, Gus.
No, there's no other way. What's the other option? AT&T?
I was gonna say, is Spectrum there yet?
No.
We gotta adopt the European model where you can go down to like the local convenience store and literally get a plan like the same day.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Or Google Fiber, come sponsor the show.
Yeah. I mean, I will take a Google Fiber sponsorship or a Comcast. I will take any sponsorship at this point. Let me not.
Any sponsorship.
My loyalty can be earned and or bought.
The video game live show suddenly brought to you by Ubisoft, which totally does not have any problems at the top of abuse and power mismanagement.
What are you talking about? A fine company. Yves Gamont is a leader.
This is how you know Williams
totally did not make his rich friends even richer by making them hide away from the company when legal.
Oh.
Oh
my God.
I know. It's like I want to be excited for the new Horizon Zero Dawn, but then I'm like, oh, Ubisoft.
I know.
Is Horizon Ubi? I thought that was internal Sony.
I think it's published by Ubisoft, isn't it? I swear it has something to do with that.
Isn't it Guerrilla Games?
thought-
No, that's something else.
Yeah, it's Guerrilla Games. Horizon just aped a lot of Assassin's Creed. It's not an Assassin. Like, wholesale ripping. Like, down to towers that he climbed and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm allowed to be excited for it now? Oh, you're right. Yeah,
You
look at
can.
that. You're right, yeah.
I thought it was Guerrilla.
Oh, good. All right, well, now I can stop being a stick in the mud.
Still worried about that underwater segment. All I wanted when they showed that promo, I was like, please don't have underwater. Please don't have underwater. And low. We're going swimming.
Excellent.
Whenever it releases, Q3, Q4, 2021.
Well, Burkhard, you gotta get a PS5 first anyway. Focus.
Listen, I have to get a house first. Listen.
I mean, there are priorities here.
Baby steps.
Anyway.
And it may be easier to get a house than a PS5.
It's true.
Like, homes exist. Homes you can see.
Or Series X.
PS5 without box. Those don't exist.
Burkhard, I'll just help you get one.
Man.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin soon, and I know it's 9:30 other places.
The next one is it's going to be on what date is that going to be?
The 29th? Or
Oh, you guys are having multiple
after Christmas
per month now. The 30th is the Wednesday.
the 30th.
Okay.
Oh wait, is it the 23rd?
The 23rd is the Thursday, not next Thursday, but the one after that. Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yes, Christmas Eve.
The Eve.
Yes.
The Eve.
All right.
So when is it?
Okie dokie.
I think we're going to the 23rd.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to the 23rd?
Okay.
I think so.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Let's do it. All right.
All right, good talk, everyone.
For sure. Have a good one, everyone.
Good talk.
It's been real.
It's been real.
Bye.